Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Advanced Bass Fishing, and much appreciated you guys coming by the channel to check today's video out. And guys, today we're going to be talking about hook sets, how hard or how soft you should set a hook based upon the lure that you're using. And I think that once you incorporate different styles and different types of hook sets into your fishing, you're definitely going to add up to more fish in the boat and a lot less lost fish. So we're going to get into that in today's video here. Also, guys, for get started, I just wanted to remind you of two quick things. Solar Bat has still got the get ready for sale deal going on with Solar Bat series sunglasses, my signature series. Between now and the end of the month, you can get them at 30% off, including prescription lenses. So I'll put that link in the description. And also, guys, I got my summer Fish the Moment lake map breakdowns up on the fishthemoment.com site. I'll link that in the description too if you guys would like to pick up one of those lake map breakdowns of your favorite lake that I build there. So really appreciate that. Okay, one of the things about bass fishing is that everybody, it seems like they got a different type of hook set. And I can pretty much look at somebody and I can know how good of an angler they are by how they set the hook. And when you're talking about a hook set, it's not about setting the hook hard and pushing that hook forward in most situations. Each lure category has a different type of hook set that you need to utilize based upon like the hook size and the hook diameter, the bait profile, and that type of a thing. So we're going to go over today a lot of different lure categories and sort of show you how I like to set the hook on it. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the slow baits. Any type of a single hook lure that you're working on the bottom or some type of a jig. So we're talking about jigs, Texas rig, any type of a Texas rig bait, a drop shot, a shaky head, anything along those lines there. Now, one of the things you have to realize is when you're fishing a single hook lure, the type of hook set that you're using is totally dependent upon the hook diameter and the size of the hook and the type of cover that you're fishing. So let's start like with a light hook, like something you'd use on a drop shot or a shaky head, and then we'll move up to like something like a 1 ounce jig or some heavy pitching and flipping bait with like a 1 ounce sinker and a big heavy flipping hook on it. If you're fishing a light wire hook on something, again, like a Ned rig, shaky head, something like that, when you're working that bait and you're working it and all of a sudden, you detect a strike and you feel the strike, with those light wire hooks, all you have to do is reel down to the fish, get a tight line on it, and just pull back and start reeling like that. There's no setting the hook like that. It's just, okay, I got a strike, there I see the fish moving out, I got my line tight, now I'm gonna start reeling, I'm just gonna pull into it, and don't stop reeling, keep reeling real fast. And as you're reeling fast, it'll keep penetrating that wire hook into that fish's mouth. And don't stop reeling fast until the fish maybe turns directions on you, then maybe you have to free spool the line and let the fish take some line out there. Now, as you get into larger hook diameters, let's say for example, now we're throwing, say we've got a 3/0 hook and we're Texas rigging an 8-inch plastic worm, something like that. And we're casting out on, a deep main lake point. Okay, in a situation like that where you have a little bit harder, a little bit larger diameter hook, make the cast out there, you get the strike on there, and then when you get the strike, you got to be more forceful with your reeling, and the more forceful when you're pulling back. So let's say I've got 15, 17 pound line, I've got a 3/0 hook, I make my cast out there on this deep brush pile, I got a strike. At this point, I'm going to reel real fast and pull back. And a lot of times I take a step back with my leg. So I'm in position, I got my line tight, take a step back and keep reeling super fast. So the difference between the wire hook and the little bit larger 3/0 is the speed of which I pull back on the rod, but there's no hook set. It's just a speed reeling like that. Now on the other end of the spectrum, if you're flipping and pitching thick cover, and you've got a big jig, say you've got a 3/4 ounce jig, or you got a big punching weight or something like that, and you make that flip in there into that, into your, cover that you're fishing. In that situation, when you get that strike, boom, you see a line tick, tighten up on it, and then you set the hook like that. But when you set the hook, make sure that the line is tight. You don't want to like, okay, there's a fish there, and take a bow down like that and get slack in the line and then set the hook, because you'll snap it hard. And actually, when you snap it hard, sometimes that hard snap will force that fish's mouth open and the bait just comes right out of its mouth. So when you set on a tight line like that, you're not snapping it in there. So tighten up the line, set the hook on a tight line. Now that's with the slow baits. Now with the reaction baits, it's a little bit different, because the reaction baits, again, it depends on the hook diameter, hook size. If I'm fishing a crankbait that just an average type of a crankbait, like a wiggle wart or something like that, or a jerk bait, or something that's got just a normal treble hook on it. In that situation, what I do is I'll throw out there, I'm reeling, I got my crankbait, there I got a strike. Same thing, I just pull into it like that. There's none of this, boom, I got a strike, set the hook like that. You're gonna pull that bait away from the fish if you set that hook hard. So be prepared for the strike. If you're throwing that crankbait out there, it's like, okay, I'm ready. It's like, boom, that fish hits, just start reeling fast and pulling back. That is super, super key with any type of a treble hook crankbait. Now, if you're fishing a big bait, a big reaction bait, something like, a chatterbait, a spinnerbait, maybe something like, some type of a big swim bait like this that has a mass on it. If you've got a really large lure with a large treble hook like this, see the big old treble in there, at that point, when you're reeling that bait through the water and you get a strike, then you need to set the hook forcefully, hard like that, on a tight line, because when you're fishing with the big bait, you've got to move this entire weight of the bait in the fish's mouth. So if you're fishing like a 3/4 ounce spinnerbait, a big chatterbait, a glide bait, a swim bait, some type of an oversized reaction bait, that's when you have to set that hook pretty hard with it. Overall, guys, the biggest mistake that I see people make setting the hook is they set the hook too hard, and they set the hook on a slack line, and they are like a live nerve ending. One of the biggest pieces of advice I can give you when you're bass fishing, which requires focus and discipline, be prepared for that strike all the time. It's like every single cast that you make, expect to get a bite on it. And if you're expecting that bite, that will allow you not to act like a live nerve ending and just like, boom, set the hook just out of instinct, because it's easy to do. It's so easy to set the hook out of instinct just when you feel it without even thinking about it. But if you're prepared and you're ready for that strike, just reel into it, nice and easy. And I can promise you guys, if you reduce that power of your hook set, it's going to add up to a lot more fish for y'all. So anyway, guys, hope it helps out. We'll talk later.